Hey guys, it's Joe Carrell. Welcome to another episode of In the Mix. Today we're going to start mixing vocals.
Ain't got time for thinking twice, like I'm running from the law.
It's an acoustic based song, but I wanted it to have some grit, right? So I recorded her through the WA-47 tube mic into the WA-73. And I gained it to where I would get some nice transformer coloration. So it's got some grit.
But it's not even similarly good.
Okay, so let's solo up her raw vocal and talk about everything that we did.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back.
All right, chain-wise, going for a very analog sound. Today I'm using the Acoustica Audio Taupe. It's their tape saturation plug-in, and it's literally the best one I've ever used. I just think it's amazing. After that, I have the DSP AE600 EQ. It's not just an EQ though; it's a dynamic EQ. So I can, use these fixed points here, the white ones. I can, do my regular EQ thing. Like in here, you can see I added a little low end, which is something I don't do a lot. High pass filter, added some top end, did a little notch here, 600 cycles to get rid of some ugliness. That's a favorite trick of mine, removing somewhere between 500 and 800, with a narrow Q on singers. But what this thing will do, if you look and see what I was doing here at 2700 cycles, I've got it to where at times when that frequency builds up, it'll duck down just a little bit and make her vocal just a little more pleasing sounding. Let me show you what it does in action here.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back.
So it's just here and there, just a couple dB, but it really makes a difference in making the vocal sound more clear, that kind of a thing. I followed that up with another thing that I do a lot is I stack compressors. I don't rely on one compressor very often to do super heavy loads. I like splitting up the load. I just think it sounds better. So what I've done for a long time is I use a low ratio compressor before my character, heavier compressor. In this case, I've got the McDSP retro compressor pulled up, and ratio wise as low as it'll go, 2:1, and the attack as slow as it'll go, which is like 10 milliseconds, and the release 200 milliseconds. And I'm probably getting 6 to 8 dB. Let's check it out.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back.
Okay, so that's just gently molding. It's not only a great sounding compressor, but it's just gently, shaping her into the mix a little bit. And then after that, I've got the Warm Audio WA-76 inserted. Okay, so I've got the WA-76 here, and it's my main compressor. It's really, I call it my character compressor. It's going to be setting the attack and release characteristics that make the vocal feel the way that I want it to feel, against the track, but also place it where I want it to set, just on top of the band. Today what I'm going to do is I'm using a 4:1 ratio, and I've got the attack at, you see, about 3 o'clock, which is a pretty fast setting. And I've got the release as fast as it will go. So let's give it a listen.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back. Fifth the whiskey sidekick to keep things on track.
Feels good to me.
Got more than miles ahead now.
All right, so that's it for compression. Next, I have a de-esser, which is the McDSP DE555. Really love this little guy. I'll leave it up there just for a second so you can take a look at the settings. All right. Now, last but not least is parallel compression. A lot of forms of music I use this, and not always. This is not something you do all the time, guys. But when it's right, it is right. And for what I'm doing right now, trying to create aggression, it's very right. So I do it off of a send here. You see that? Just set it to Unity, and then it's post all this processing, and this goes into my McDSP 6030 Ultimate compressor with an 1176 style setting, about 8-to-1, as fastest release possible, fast attack, not the fastest, but pretty close, because I don't really want much dynamic out of this guy. I want this parallel track to be pretty hammered. And basically what I do, and let me show you, this is no EQ, I mean this is no effects, this is the vocal without parallel compression. And you'll hear that it's not quite loud enough.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back.
So for me, typically the right setting is to turn the vocal up until it's not quite loud enough, and then make up the gain difference with this guy. Okay, now listen.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back.
Okay, so that last little bit of volume is a very highly compressed signal, and it just makes everything more consistent, more aggressive, more energetic. Okay, and lastly, I have a vocal bus. A lot of times I will compress it, when I've got a lot of vocals, but this is just one vocal, so I'm getting all my compression off of the vocal chain itself. The only thing I'm doing is this favorite little trick of mine to add analog saturation to my returns. I'm using the Acoustica Audio Gold 2 preamp settings, which is based on various Neves. There's a lot of choices here. I really love what it does across all these stereo returns. Adds a lot of depth and warmth to my mixes. All right, guys, thanks for watching.
To the other side, chase it with a ride. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks again for watching. Hey, if you would, follow Warm Audio on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for information on all the current and latest episodes, as well as, if you would, follow me on Instagram and Facebook at In the Mix with Joe Carrell for extra behind-the-scene footage. Okay, now here is Elle Sera singing Running from the Law.
Come on, pack the bags up, throw the things in back. Fifth of whiskey sidekick to keep things on track. Got more than miles ahead now, no looking back. Ain't got time for thinking twice, like I'm running from the law. Said goodbye to baby, 'cause he don't treat me like he should. And I kept that one picture from back when he said he would. Good intentions paved it, but it's not even similarly good. So hop that freight express train, like I'm running from the law. Straight on through the night, to the other side, chase it with a ride. Yeah. Take the road less traveled, hang a lower hat, change my hair and boot tread, baby, I'll make it back. Sunshine and daisies is a dream worth having at. But till then it's shade and quick draw, like I'm running from the law.